Elijah, good morning to you, and thanks for your time in speaking to us this morning. Yes, we can talk about the poorest communities, and of course we will, but just briefly, how much attention do you think COVID-19 has taken away from protecting our water resources, considering we need water to help us fight off COVID-19? Good morning.
Well, good morning, Gareth, and good morning, our viewers. Thanks you for having me in the studio. Okay, I would like to say that actually this is the time that the world has to focus on water, because without water, we definitely cannot be able to fight off, COVID-19 and other pandemics such as this. Water is actually one of the first line of defense for fighting out. We have to hand wash our hands. We have to make sure that we wash them with soap. And that is one of the key first line of defense for preventing this COVID-19. So we definitely, I expect the world to actually focus more on water rather than actually not the opposite. Thank you.
There's an incredible amount of money, of course, isn't there, Elijah, that gets spent on trying to get clean, accessible water to poorer communities. There are going to be questions around how governments, perhaps our government here in South Africa as well, are deciding on budgets. An awful amount of money spent on various departments. Do you think enough is being spent on water and water generation in this country?
No, Gareth, that one I would say quickly. We have a problem with governments. The government's commitments in terms of allocating adequate resources, especially for water, is completely misplaced. They normally don't prioritize water as a key resource. And one of the things that WaterAid is trying to do is to bring attention to governments like South Africa that should actually have enough resources to put in water, but unfortunately they are using resources to other things, and this is putting a huge amount of people at great risk, especially people in rural areas and informal settlements don't have adequate clean water at the moment. So definitely no, the governments are not prioritizing water as such in their budgets, and we are actually calling upon the governments to pay more attention and increase the investments that they put in water so that we can have everyone everywhere to have adequate water, and especially those who are marginalized and disadvantaged. Thank you.
Elijah, last question to you in the last minute that I have with you. As we discuss the poorer communities, particularly those who are struggling to get access to clean and usable water, climate change for those communities, I'm pretty sure while it's important to them, they don't really care, do they? They just want clean, running water. It's up to the governments to fight the climate change battle, isn't it? Last question to you.
Yes. You see, there is a very irony here, Gareth. You find the most developed countries in the world who are actually the real polluters, because they have a lot of industries, they pollute the air, and they committed themselves to put about 100 billion, US dollars way back in 2019, and by 2018, only a little of that amount has actually been even utilized, and unfortunately, it's the well-to-do governments that are still receiving that climate finance that should be helping the poor countries actually to fight and adopt to climate change, which they actually are the ones that cause. So what we are calling upon us as WaterAid is that the developed countries should actually significantly increase the amount of money, invest more in climate finance, the money that should come actually to the poor countries to help them adopt with climate change. So the money that we can use to build, dikes in dams, to build, dikes in wells, and help the poor who are actually most affected by climate change. Yet they are actually the least that pollute the world.
I appreciate your time. I really like that term, climate finance. I think I'm going to use that in future. Elijah Adera, what a pleasure speaking to you from WaterAid, addressing the issue that many people are wondering. How do communities without water keep themselves safe from COVID-19? My thanks to Elijah from WaterAid.